Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, March 23rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts, how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Before I get to the watch list, I first just want to quickly invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here in just a couple of days. So if you're liking what you see as I go through the video and you want to learn more about it, how it can and should be used to build consistency as a trader, then certainly get signed up for this free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you're liking what you see, then certainly get signed up for this free class. A couple of quick clarification points before I get to the stocks. Number one, this price over here is still moving and the candlestick will still be moving. I like to do these videos when the market's still open for a small amount of time because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then next, this is the 30-minute time frame. So for you beginners out there, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So first one here, ticker symbol MULN, and this is exactly why I like to do these when the market's still open, because check out this last 30 minutes right here. Absolutely beast moding up. You can see good solid volume, and it'll be interesting to see where this ultimately closes, but let's get some of these new levels mapped out here. And from the overarching point of view, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watch past videos, I've talked about that purple line there being the 50-period moving average and a key general area of support for more so the big picture point of view. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. Look at this. Literally went sideways, 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 got to that purple line, and then up it went. Now, does it always do that? Of course not. No tool is perfect. But you know what? This is something where, whether you want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy or not, it does illustrate the power and, just practical worth of learning about charts. So quick plug again, get signed up for that free class. But a good example there, and then moving forward, nothing has changed in regards to that purple line. That would still be considered the main area of support, which now has worked its value up to, let's just call it that $3 mark. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, first key level to keep an eye on, going to be right here at $3.85 with the next level. So if you want to just call this a resistance zone, I don't think anybody would put up much of an argument against that. With the top of the resistance zone right up there around $4.15. But all in all, no doubt about it, very, very impressive late day activity. Now it's just a question of, can this momentum carry into Wednesday? Let's see what happens. Next one, LLL, which was just an absolutely crazy mover today. And it's still a very interesting setup. And in my mind, what makes it the most ideal is that it is pulled back. Now, that may sound a little bit backwards, but given that it's pulled back, you now at least don't have to have the concern of, oh, great, am I going to be the sucker that buys the top? Am I suffering from FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Am I chasing the price? No, that already happened. The suckers already were buying there and bought right there. So the suckers already bought the top. Now, that doesn't mean that this will still turn out to be a guaranteed winning trade. I'm just saying that at least that potential threat has been eliminated given that it's pulled back. So if you like to play, pullback situations where there's still clearly strong amount of upwards momentum, overall, the price is still drifting upwards. You just have this pullback right here. So in fact, so in a very, rough kind of way, that would be known as a bull flag pattern. So if you like to play bull flag patterns, if you like these, general ideas of still overall strength, but there is a bit of a pullback, then this is a very interesting setup. Because yeah, if this thing is just a temporary pullback and it decides to break out of that bull flag to the upside, then you could definitely see some more very nice tradable opportunities, especially given the track record that it showed today of just how fast it can actually move. Next one, AMC, and overall a very solid day on this one. Finally got that breakout. Started this morning, and again, a bit more of those of you that watched the previous videos, but I talked about how that pink line was being very stubborn, but the price broke above it during that opening 30 minutes and really never looked back. So just a very, very powerful day, and lots of updates need to be done. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that line out. It served its purpose for now. So as far as newest levels of support are concerned, I got to squeeze things down here. So I realize it makes it a little bit harder to see, but that's always a good problem to have. But newest level of support from an ideal standpoint, right up here at $17.50. Ideal meaning for, say, Clay, what would make this chart look the best, the healthiest moving forward if the price can stay above $17.50. But if the price were to drop below it, that doesn't mean that everything's all of a sudden destroyed. But preferably speaking, that would certainly be the best sign of power, with the overarching level being that purple line there, the 50 period. Again, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher. So from the broad scope of things, as long as the price remains above that line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, then the overall trend remains in the bull's favor. As far as next potential battlegrounds and areas of resistance are concerned, next big public enemy going to be right up here at $19.50. So the price is certainly within striking distance. But going back to the history of things, you can see not once, but twice back here, the price was rejected by that area. Doesn't mean that it can't get through it, just that I would expect there to probably be some, battlegrounds that, play out up there. But overall, very, very solid day for AMC. Next one, SNDL. And I know I did this one last week and I talked about the trend. And not a whole lot to report other than just kind of saying what's been going on. The trend continues. The price continues to put in these higher lows, continues to put in these higher highs, including today a much higher high. But the point here being that, basically the past week and a half has been a very, very nice and methodical uptrend. So if you are into penny stocks, you like to play uptrends, then this is definitely one to keep an eye on. And as I just talked about with AMC, from an overarching standpoint, just continue to watch that purple line there. As I said, it's a moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, just kind of envision that as an overall trend line. As long as the price stays above the trend line, then overall the trend remains plenty healthy. As far as next potential battlegrounds are concerned, got to squeeze things down here, which is always a good problem to have. You have to go back this far into the charts history. Let's see. Yep, that looks like it's right there at the 60-cent mark. So 60 cents is public enemy number one moving forward. But all in all, a very nice move. The trend continues, and it's all about those higher highs and higher lows. So let's see how the week continues to play out. Next one, DPRO, and for you longer time viewers, you've heard me say this before, but there can be opportunity in ugly, and there's no doubt about it. Right now, this thing is looking very, very ugly. To think that the price came all the way up here, and to think that some poor souls bought right there, and then to see this thing right now, yeah, this is a very ugly chart. But like I said, there can be opportunity in ugly, and the opportunity that stands out a little bit here is this trend line. So let me get in a place right there at that area. So let me change that to green because this would now technically be considered an area of support that the price is broken up through it. So my big, just kind of question is, hey, let's see if the price can come down in this area right around, let's just call it $2.20, give or take, and let's see what happens. Again, that's the idea of a watch list, right? You identify interesting situations and then you watch them. And right here, I could see it. Again, no guarantees, but by no means is this random to think that the price could come down to that former breakout area and then, start to turn back up. Now, does it go all the way back up to $4? I'm not saying that, but even if it were to go a quarter of the way, halfway, that could still be a very nice trade. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. Right now, this thing is looking very ugly, including the final 30 minutes here. Look at this final 30 minutes. Just another big downwards move. But let's see if this thing can get a bit more uglier down to 220, and then it could be a very interesting setup. Next one, BABA, and I've been tracking this one. Didn't trade it today, but definitely want to get it for myself. So I am kind of just letting you be a fly in the wall of my own personal analysis here. But the level that I know I'll be watching, I think a lot of other people will be watching because it's not like this is exactly a complicated line to draw right there. But that trend line right there as resistance, which one circles back to the idea of self-fulfilling prophecies, because I'm not trying to proclaim like that was some sort of vast, in-depth analysis. No, that's pretty basic. But when things are basic, lots of people are watching. So once more, does that guarantee anything? Absolutely not. But is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price gets up to that trend line and then pushes up through it, that break right there could cause quite a bit of upwards buying pressure? Yeah, that is a more than valid thought process to have. So keep an eye on that from the resistance side of things. And then as far as supports are concerned, if there are any sort of pullbacks, an interesting level, at least for me, down there right around the 110 mark. So let's see how this one continues. But yeah, with these Chinese stocks, there's definitely been some great movement. Next one here, NIO, and I don't want to pat myself on the back here, but I do want to pat charts on the back. So again, a quick plug once again to get signed up for that class. And this will mean a tad bit more to those of you that watch past videos. But if you did, you know that I talked about that resistance line right there and said after that resistance, then that level up there at 22 would be the next key level. Check this out. You can't make this stuff up. Price came up here, broke through that level, started to move, and then look right where it happened to go sideways. Right at that level right there. Again, are charts perfect? No, there's no such thing as a perfect tool, but they are completely valid. They are a very useful tool, and we have, once again, a very real-life example of that. So $22 very clearly going to be remaining that key level of resistance. I'm not going to, I guess I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Basically about 8 times the price got right up around that $22-ish and got rejected. So a bunch of people will be watching that. And then as far as supports are concerned, that's just a matter of basic principle, and levels of resistance are broken and closed above. They tend to act as support. So keep an eye on that, which is down there right around the $21 mark, give or take. But in my mind, all eyes are going to be on that $22 mark. So you got to think there's quite a bit of potential self-fulfilling prophecy behind that price level. Next one, PLTR, which has made a very nice move over the past week and a half, and the trend continues. When you look back here, when it finally started to bottom out around 1050. So let's map out some areas of resistance mainly, because the support is very straightforward, going back to the whole idea of that purple line there. So as that line moves itself higher and higher, let that be the trend line that draws itself for you. and serve as your guide. So as long as the price is above that area, then the bulls are in full control. As far as next potential areas of resistance, once again, I realize it's getting kind of harder to see here, but that's good because it just shows that it's been quite a while since the price has been up this high. But the next key area of resistance going to be right up there around $13.85. And after that, next key level, which I would argue would probably be even bigger, up there around $14.25, just because going back to the history of things, you can see that there is a big old track record of that area presenting problems. So keep a close eye on that. But all in all, no doubt about it, very nice movement today. And this, overall bounce continues. Next one here, LCID, and big breakout today. You can see that level right there at 26.25 had been rejecting the price, but with the price breaking up above it now, again, just going back to that foundational rule, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So ideal level at 26.25, as explained already, but from the overarching level, then yeah, that purple line, use that. But in terms of what would make this chart look the absolute healthiest and best, certainly if the price can stay above 26.25. As far as areas of resistance, so where are some of these next potential battlegrounds? Next key level, did it hit it today? I don't think so. I don't know, maybe I got to go to the eye doctor. Let's see. Nope, no eye doctor appointment needed. So right up there at 27.75, and then after 27.75, next key level, right up there at basically the $29 mark, which I would argue, as the previous chart I said, probably more so the main key dynamic that I think a lot more people will be watching. But overall, nice breakout today of that former area of resistance. In fact, kind of had this little wedge pattern right here that got the breakout of. Not just a question of can this breakout get that much more continuation over the next few days. Let's see what happens. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, which was just a beast today. Absolute beast. I mean, maybe somebody saw this coming. Wasn't me. I'm not going to sit here and proclaim that I knew that when this red line here was finally broken, which I talked about, that the thing would go all the way up to essentially $1,000 today. So, I mean, just a huge breakout. So anybody that played that breakout, that resistance break, congratulations to you. Well done. But I'm going to go ahead and just clean all these lines out as they've served their purpose for now. And now let's map out some more of the near-term levels. And as far as resistance, it's very straightforward, 1,000. Just because it's that big old round number of 1,000. So there's going to be a bunch of psychology that goes into it just because it's 1,000 and nothing other than that. So just 1,000 for the fact that it's a big round number. So watch that from the resistance side of things. As far as areas of support are concerned, a little sketchy here just because, and this is, the catch-22 with these big upwards moves, is it can create quite a bit spaces between areas of support. Now, that doesn't mean that this thing is going to drop down to 950, but I mean, that's technically basically the overall level of resistance, or excuse me, support, because that was the former area of support. If I could get my terminology right, that was a former area of resistance. You can see multiple times right here, which now you would expect to act as support. So like I said, I realize that's a pretty big space all the way down there, but that is the catch-22 when stocks just break out and then essentially go straight up like Tesla did today. But overall, everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching that $1,000 mark tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see if the Tesla bulls can actually push through it. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you can see the potential and power behind this tool and want to learn more about it, how it can and should be used, and just why it is such a great tool, then certainly get signed up for the free class. It'll be, like I said, Thursday, March 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to put these videos together, then please help me out with some basic communication. Hit that feedback, or hit that like button and leave me some feedback via a comment. Just feel sorry for me. I can't even talk anymore. But by hitting that like button and leaving some a comment, even if it's saying hi, say, I feel sorry for you. But any of those two things go a long way in communicating to me that you enjoyed these videos. And as long as I know people are enjoying, then I have no problem at all continuing to put them together. And once again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and why it's such a powerful tool, then certainly get signed up for that free class. And hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. Everybody take care. Have a good one.